Right, what is up, my beautiful people? Today we got AJ Brown. We're doing his Super Bowl workout to train like a wide receiver today. Let's get right into it.
We're gonna start with Kaiser power squats, 4 sets, 3 reps. I'm trying to be explosive as I can here in this video so it can translate on the field with me coming off the ball and just running, working my lower body, legs, glutes. As a receiver, the most important muscle group, I would definitely say the lower body, the glutes, the hammies, the quads, the ankle mobility. I want to say really from your waist down because so much goes into it. And you're running, you're cutting, you're putting your foot in the ground, you're stopping, you're starting, you're running as fast as possible, and you're stopping as fast as possible. So the lower body is so important, and you have to take care of, and you have to train really well. Next up, hamstring rotation.
So he's definitely right there. Lots of people neglect their lower body when they're training, especially athletes. A lot of it is part of the core, the hips. You see a lot of people, they sit down so much that their hips all become kind of pulled in. So definitely squats a good way to improve that. I would say deep squats are actually a really good way to get that ankle, hip mobility, knee mobility all in one. He's doing a little bit of a different form there. Maybe you could incorporate both into the training for you, different blocks. What I would do personally though for hips, ankles, knees is do a deeper squat, high bar, big chest. Let those hips kind of come out to the side. The knees are almost like a pizza feet or a V shape there. And that'll give you a lot more mobility, a lot more strength. He's doing something more explosive where he's trying to get that maximum force production. He probably already has the mobility that he wants, though. So you want to build that foundation first, nice and slow, concentric reps building up. Once you feel like you have that mobility, then you can move to these more so power movements where you're focusing on strength times speed.
3 sets, 5 reps. Here is just really simple, just trying to work on the hamstring flexibility, lower body, upper body flexibility that just translate with everything because without my hamstrings and I can't do anything. So next up, we got Kaiser anti-rotation press, 3 sets, 8 reps. It's just really self-explanatory, just a press, working the upper body, that movement, that translate with me when I'm blocking, get my hands on guys and, driving them off the ball. I like to box a lot. It helps.
All right, that anti-rotational press there, I'm I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, I know it's helpful for your abs and your core, but I mean, as you could see his face when he was doing that, he was like looking at the TV, looking at other stuff. It's not the most intense workout. A few of those look a little bit easier, and I think there's a reason for that. When you have just like these kind of like mobility type of exercises thrown in as well, it makes you a little bit more fresh in the training room. So like if you go easy on the weights here and you're not really taxing them till failure, then he's able to train football a little bit better. I think there's a time and a place for both. Maybe in the off season he can do a little bit more heavy movements if you want to stay with the hamstring flexibility and some rotational core strength, maybe a single leg RDL or something like that. I think right there though he's just a little bit less intense than I would like to see.
Helps on the football field. It translates because of the cardio I do in the boxing. I do it for one that I fell in love with the sport, but also that I never get tired. It's just another way if I can do cardio without putting a lot of stress on my joints and just to stay active. Next up is dumbbell bench press.
Okay, that's a good point there. Any sort of sport that you like is going to help you with your cardio. Obviously, if I were his coach, I would say all of his cardio should be football specific, so he's always getting better at his sport. But it's nice to change it up, have some routine, different routine here and there. If you just do one thing and you're not that type of person, you'll probably get bored and burn out fast. So it's nice to always switch it up, have something different to do.
4 sets, 5 reps. You can increase the weight if you want to. I do. I kind of get carried away actually because I like to look good. You know, but it translates on the field with everything, with hand fighting at the line of scrimmage, or me just being physical in between my routes and, you know, making sure I have room to catch the ball, fighting off guys. That's everything. I don't have a favorite body part to work out, but I would say just upper body, you know.
So now he's got the 90s. I was about to say 80s. That's pretty strong. 90s pretty strong too. Doing that for 5 reps, I think he said. My biggest critique, if he wants to really look good, as he said he likes to up the weight to look good. One, sets of 5 reps, they're definitely good for hypertrophy, but they're definitely gonna fatigue your joints and your connective tissue a lot more than, let's say, 10 to 15 rep range. I think, again, time and a place for both. He can definitely do sets of 5 when he's building strength and a little bit of hypertrophy, trying to look good, and then have off-season blocks where he's doing sets of 10 to 15, trying to stack on more muscle if he's able to in that role. If they're allowing him to get heavier, then I would definitely love to see him do a little bit of an off-season block, trying to gain a little bit more muscle, maybe lean down in that point. That'd be nice. Secondly, he's doing all right for him, but I'd like to see him cast those elbows just a little bit wider, maybe a 45, 60-degree angle. He's doing really close in, which is going to be nice for your tricep. Maybe that's specific for his pushing there when he's on the line with people. But I think you'll get a lot more chest development if you widen out those elbows a little bit. You'll get a crazy stretch. You see he's not really arched too much there. I would like to see a little bit more of an arch pressing through the toes there. He's got more of just like a static, old school type of bench there.
Big, strong. I like to look good, you know, feel good, and, you know, intimidate people. Next up, hip thrust, 3 sets of 8 reps. It's one of my favorite exercises because it helps out with everything. You know, we can't run unless our glutes are firing, and we most definitely can't stop without our glutes are firing. So that's just something that I'm trying to strengthen and make sure I can be explosive. That goes into the explosive category that I do on a daily. Me and Devontae workout is different, but kind of similar in some ways. He may go lighter, and sometimes I go lighter, and sometimes I go heavier. But
there we go.
As the season progresses, we all tend to lower our weight because it's just not a smart thing to do. And you have to learn to manage that. And I feel like we have done a great job in the weight room to manage what works best for us. Next up, single leg extension.
All right, he's talking about periodization there. He's saying as they get deeper and deeper in the season, they start lowering their weights, doing some higher reps. Goes on what I was saying before. Those sets of 5 reps, that's definitely going to be taxing your joints, your connective tissues a lot more. So for him, what he likes to do is build up that strength as they're getting up to the season and then kind of taper to more of a maintenance where they're doing more sets of 10 to 15, still getting the pump, still building some muscle, but they're not going to be as taxed for when they go down to the games Sunday night. One thing I would say, another option to this is if you build up that strength in the off season leading up, and then as you get closer and closer to your game or to whatever you're working towards, this could work for a powerlifting competition as well. You start lowering your reps. You stay with the same weight but lowering your reps, so the overall intensity is now lowered. So say you can do 100 pounds on whatever lift you're trying to do, say the bench, and you do that for 5 reps. Now when you're starting to maintain, we'll drop that 100 pounds, still we'll do 4 reps, 3 reps, maybe even 2 to 1 at the last weeks. What we're doing there, still working that power, still maintaining our strength, but we're not going to be taxing our CNS and our joints to the point where they can't recover. Because we have a lot less reps, it's going to be a lot easier for them to recover, but we're still maintaining that same level of strength. Really good if you're trying to max out for a competition.
Next up, kettlebell swings. We got 4 sets of 6 reps. I like to go heavy on these, extremely heavy.
Ooh.
Working glutes, hammies. Again, this is something I'm gonna keep targeting because as a receiver, I'm running, I'm stopping, and it's one of my favorite exercises because it's real simple to do, real easy, and I can go as heavy as I want to, and but make sure you do it correctly because you don't want back problems.
Yeah, as you say, make sure you do it correctly. Now, let me see if I can see the weight on that thing there. Sorry if that ruined the video. looks like maybe a 35 kilogram, which is like 70 pounds there, which is decently heavy. My critique for him would be that he's arching his arms in, or he's kind of giving himself like some T-Rex arms. On a kettlebell swing, realistically, you want to keep those arms straight. You don't want to be recruiting a lot of your forearms, biceps. Those are going to tax a lot quicker than your back and your hips and your hamstrings. So if you're doing that nice and close grip, then your forearms are going to fatigue too quick. If you stay nice and long, you'll have a nice lever arm to do what you want, the hips and your posterior chain there. Maybe he might need to lighten the load just a little bit. Seems like it's working just fine for him, though. I personally would like to see him keep those arms straight like they are now through the whole lift, though.
That's what it looks like to train like an NFL wide receiver for the Super Bowl. I hope this helps the next time you get in the gym.
All right. Looks like that's about the end of the video. If you want to check out that full uncut version, it's on the Philadelphia Eagles YouTube channel. Wide receiver AJ Brown Super Bowl workout. You all know the deal. I'll have another video for y'all tomorrow. Peace.